So just yesterday, I asked you guys to list off your best performing summer designer fragrances that you wore this past summer. Or maybe that some of you are still currently wearing if you're still having some summer temperatures like we are. Because when it comes to summer fragrances in general, designer and even niche, performance can be very much hit or miss. You may have some cheapies that perform great for summertime. You may have some niche $200-300 fragrances that are summer oriented that perform like crap. So there's really a lot that you have to sift through to find good performing summer scents. And for this video here, I just wanted to focus on designers to try to keep it affordable. If you were wanting to see what everyone else was wearing and getting good performance out of, this will be a great video. If you want to pick some up to finish wearing during this warm weather or to get ready for next year, also is going to work out great. So I will link all these down below. If I'm talking about prices, it's going to be discounted prices. So make sure you use those links, save yourself a lot of money. And we're going to start off at number 10. This one got a good dose of votes, 4 or 5, I think, at the time of me finalizing this. MISSONI Wave. So this one has a little bit of a Chanel Allure Homme Sport / Versace Pour Homme smell, kind of like a hybrid between the two is how I've always described this one. It's also very affordable. Testers, you know, lower 40 range, full presentation, mid upper $40 range, somewhere around in there. So really not a whole lot of money. It's much more affordable than the Chanel, and it's kind of about the same head to head with the Versace. One thing that's nice about the presentation, you do get a magnetic cap, which you actually don't get on either of the other two. Even the Chanel, they have the click caps on those Allure bottles, so that's a cool little note about this one. Takes those super bright citrus accords of the Versace, mixes it with some of the creaminess and semi-sweetness from the Chanel, you know, like that orange kind of creaminess in the Tonka, and you get just the best of both worlds, and I really enjoy this one a lot. It's got okay performance, pretty decent. As we go further on in the list, you'll see that they do start to trend in the better performing area, but this one still gets it done, especially for a low cost. Number 9, we have Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. This one's got grapefruit, some aromatics going on in here, nice musk accord. This one has been a little bit hard to come by for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Ever since it first came out, it's been somewhat elusive. You can get it in stock right now. I will link it down below. So you know, it's one you can find, but it's nowhere near as readily available as a lot of the other flankers. But with that being said, it's one of my favorite cool water flankers. I really enjoy this one, and I've liked it since it first came out. You know, the EDP is okay. I think this is much better than the EDP. That one had some sweetness and I believe some coconut or something in that one, or the Intense is what I'm talking about, Intense EDP. This one here is sticking more to the traditional roots with just primarily freshness overall and citrus, but it does have some impact to it. It's very strong, and again, I'm pretty sure it's a true parfum concentration. I believe anyway. It's not telling me otherwise here on the bottle, but I know it's got good performance on me. It smells great. It's a really nice mass pleaser, and it's got good performance. Number 8, we have DIOR Homme Sport. This is going to be the 2021 version, so the newest DIOR Homme Sport, basically. And this one's got lemon, aldehydes, elemi, a little bit of grapefruit in here, a bunch of woods. This is going to be the most mature smelling version of this DIOR Homme Sport DNA. Talking the 2008, 2012, 2017. This has been the most mature. It's been the most classy and refined. And it really is a very luxurious smelling spring, early summertime scent to me. You know, it is a sport, so it's going to be more suited for the warmer weather. I do think this could be worn year round though, but it does have very strong performance. You know, it's got the rich woods in here, the spicy notes, and kind of some of the elemi, woody, kind of resinous accords in here as well. It's very outdoorsy smelling, very gentlemanly, very grown up and mature, and I just really like the direction of this one went. You know, kind of similar to DIOR Sauvage Elixir. That one also went in a much more mature direction there. So their last couple of releases, I think, have started to appeal less to the super young crowd and more to maybe the older crowd, or just people who are tired of the super sweet fragrances and youthful stuff and you want something more traditionally masculine. Check out something like this. Nice performer, great quality. This is actually a really good release. Number 7, Acqua di Gio Profondo. It's got sea notes, mineral notes, orange, some aromatics in here, I believe like clary sage and the like. So this one got voted in a good amount. And it's one of those deals where going into it, I loved how it smelled immediately, first impressions wise, but I was like, all right, performance, that's going to be one of the key factors, because, you know, I also really enjoy a strong performing summer fragrance. Now, I will wear stuff that isn't completely beast mode. I have no problem with that, but I think we can all pretty much agree that when something does have solid performance, it definitely gains at some points for sure. And after testing this one, when it first came out, quickly after, I realized it was going to be a good performer, and all throughout this summer I was wearing it heavily. I've got a couple bottles of this one, so you know, people always like to say, oh, your bottle's full, you don't wear it all the time. This is not my only bottle. This is actually technically my backup bottle, but I just wear out of whichever one I feel like. And you know, it's one of those deals where it's a consistent 8-hour performer. I love that it's unique. It's not your typical aquatic. It's a different take on that DNA. It smells fantastic, especially in the summer heat. It smells great in the air, like, you know, in climate controlled environment, but when you get it in the heat and it really opens up, it smells even better. Impressive performer. At number 6, we have BLEU de Chanel Eau de Parfum. I gotta be honest, this one surprised me because when I was thinking of, you know, what I would put in this list, I didn't even think of a BLEU de Chanel. Not that it doesn't have good performance, because the EDP and the Parfum do have good performance, at least on my skin, and apparently you guys as well. But I don't know, I just wasn't even thinking about it. So when I saw this one, and I saw that it was getting upvoted, and I also saw that the Parfum was also mentioned. It wasn't enough to get into the list, but the Parfum, I guess, could be an honorable mention. I was like, you know what? You guys are right. BLEU de Chanel, it does have decent performance. You know, it's not the strongest ever, and that kind of reflects based on the placement of this list here, but it is still a solid performer for what it is, and a very classy scent. This is going to be, still to this day, the most upscale and mature BLEU fragrance. You know, this is it. Out of Dylan BLEU, Sauvage, Aqua Atlantique, Aqua Senziale BLEU, and every other BLEU fragrance, to me, this is still the most mature smelling version of that DNA. And this is also the originator of that DNA. I think that's pretty admirable that nothing else is topped just how this one pulls itself together. It's got that grapefruit incense combination with mild woods in here. Truly a masterpiece DNA and a decent performer. And it's great for summertime, although it could be used all year round. Breaking into the top 5 from RASASI, we've got HAWAS. So it's got plum, bergamot, watery notes, ambroxan, all of that good stuff. 2015 release, and this basically originated the Invictus Aqua DNA that we all know about, and some of us love, some of us hate. And that Invictus Aqua DNA, well, the actual Invictus Aquas themselves are going away. You know, the 2016 discontinued long ago, the 2018 now been discontinued. So in terms of production, this is the only thing that's left right now, other than maybe some other clones and stuff. But this is where it started. And I didn't pick this one up nearly as soon as I should have, because I got 2016 Invictus Aqua. I was immediately hooked, talked about it as much as I could until it got discontinued. Then I couldn't. Then I talked about the 18 when it came out, and I still didn't have this yet. I don't know what was wrong with me. After I've been through all of that, and I have multiple bottles of the 2016, by the way, I think I prefer the RASASI. It's got beast mode performance. It's great quality. I love the plum accord in here mixed with the bergamot and the ambroxan kind of, you know, somewhat aquatic, salty freshness. It just smells great. I love this DNA. It's fun in the sun, playful summertime scent, and it's got great performance. Number 4, this one did not surprise me at all. I literally just had fragrance dominoes occur there on the ground. YSLY EDP at number 4. Surprised it didn't make it higher, but still, I mean, basically this top 5 and above, they're all beast mode. And this one, of course, I'm still happy to see it in here. It's a strong scent. This is another one where I got my usage out of this past summer. You know, we're still having summer-like temperatures here, although in a couple days it's actually going to change, and we're going to be getting into the highs of, you know, 68, 70, lows of, you know, 50s, whatever. So we're kind of on our last stretch. I think tomorrow it's going to be 92. Wednesday it's going to be 82, and then after that, temperatures are going to plummet. But even still, I've kind of backed out of this one because I hit it so hard this summer, and I've kind of worked into some other summer fragrances here recently that I didn't wear as much as I initially planned on over the summer. And so I do miss this already. And it's one of those deals where I'll still pick this up and wear it in the wintertime just because I love how it smells, especially the PARFUM. Also, big fan of that. But the point is, it's a beast mode scent all around. Pretty much most people that you ask and that have experience with this are going to get great performance out of it. Now, it is subject to skin chemistry. This is also a type of thing that could cause olfactory fatigue. So it'll burn your nose out. You may think it's not performing, but it is. Regardless, you know, it's not going to be a 100% beast mode for everybody, as is nothing, right? But generally, the success rate on this one is very high if you want huge performance. Number 3, Terre d'Hermès Eau GIVREE, another newer release here. Love the reimagined bottle, and I do kind of like that they went over to an actual cap. I like the twist offs, but I do like the cap, and I love the brushed finish, which you may not be able to see, but trust me, it's there. And it's details like that that I really enjoy, and I've talked about that before. This one's got citron, a bunch of other citrus going on in here, good heavy dose of vetiver. And basically, this is the Terre d'Hermès Eau Très Fresh DNA, but with basically hardly anywhere as much orange, and more so citron and like a bergamot grapefruit combo, kind of a sweet, sugary, citrusy opening, and then a good dose of vetiver. So that's kind of where this ties into the others, as the woody base of this one. Kind of similar to, I don't know, what, BLEU de Chanel in a way of maturity, and I guess even more similar to the DIOR Homme Sport earlier on in the video. Woods with citrus. This is going to be a more gentlemanly smelling fragrance, and this one here, it's got great performance. At number 2, one of the greats, Acqua di Gio Profumo. Incense, patchouli, C notes. I mean, you guys know it at this point. This one got voted in very high, and Profondo also got voted in. So again, I have no responsibility over this. You know, any sort of redundancy that have occurred in here, you know, I can't help that. I'm not going to cheat the video just to make it not redundant. And to be fair, this is a great performer. So is Profondo, and so is everything else. So when I make lists, I normally try to not be repetitive. However, in this instance here, you know, it's going to be up to the voting of this. And so still a great performer. If you want performance from a summer scent, this is one of the ones to go for. For me, it's always been one of the best summer evening fragrances. I've always described it as smelling like a summer night on the beach. You know, you're walking along the beach, got the ocean washing up right beside you. You've got boardwalks and lights and restaurants and stuff all along here lit up, looking pretty, and you're just out there, man. Temperatures have kind of cooled off. That's just what this one has. A little bit of a mysterious smoky edge, but also still that aquatic backbone that you know from the DNA. One of the best of all time. Big performer. This is a parfum. That's always been a debate. When you look at the bottom and it says parfum, that usually you would think would settle the debate, but believe it or not, people still like to say that this is not a parfum. It's a parfum, and it performs like one. And last up, this one shocked me to a high degree. One, because the votes. Okay, we'll talk about that first. At the time of me finalizing this, and I finalized this pretty quickly. I wanted to get this out before we get into October, right? Had 10 votes, placing this at the number 1 immediately. 10. More so now, probably, if I go back and look at that poster. You guys go back and look, see how many more it has now. But immediately placed it at number 1. And up until I finalized it, nothing even got close to passing this one up. Also, the amount of comments alongside that main comment, several times. And also another version of this was commented several times. So it is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. Light Blue Italian Love was also commented multiple times, and this was also repeated. So this one was the clear number 1 spot winner, and it shocked me because whenever I bring this up, I get an overwhelming amount of comments of people saying that they hate this stuff, and I'm like, well, you know, this is really divisive. But when I leave it up to you guys, man, it shines through. Now, granted, we're talking about performance. Maybe some of you hate it, but it performed really good. So, you know, can't argue with that. But also, I mean, hey, look, it's got great performance, and you guys spoke on that. I mean, it really does well, especially in the heat. That grapefruit comes to life. The ozonic notes, violet leaf come to life. This one opens up in the heat. It's got great projection, and so it was cool to see because, as you guys probably know, this is one of my all-time favorites. I think it's a great summer release, although I do understand why some people don't like it. This is different, and it can be a little bit overbearing. I totally understand that, but cool to see. It's an eau de parfum. This isn't going to be around forever, despite the name. And also, Italian Love won't be either. It's already a limited edition, so, you know, this DNA really probably isn't going to live all that long. It's very divisive, so get these while you can. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for me. The 10 best performing summer fragrances chosen by you guys. Great list, great performers. Still got some time left here, and probably where some of you guys are, to squeeze some more of these in before the long hibernation occurs. So enjoy your fragrances, summer ones, while you can. Links will be down below. Deals on the community tab. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.